there's a book that a while back at least was very popular, which is called rather, Deep Work by Cal Newport. And I just wanted to share my experience a little bit with implementing one of the ideas he shares, which is the 4DXs, which stands for the 4 disciplines of execution. So what these are is focus on the wildly important, focus on lead measures, keep a compelling scoreboard, and maintain a cadence of accountability. So the one that I really want to talk about, because focus on the wildly important, okay, that makes sense, right? Focus on the things that actually make a difference rather than the things that are small, meaningless tasks. For example, this video, the thing that makes a difference is me doing this video. But what doesn't make a big difference is when I schedule it to post, right? That doesn't matter so much. So focus on the things that actually make a difference. That's logical. Okay, easy. The next one is focus on, well, I'll skip the next one actually. The next one's lead measures. That's the one I want to talk about. So let's go, actually, you know what? I'll start here. So lead measures. What's really interesting about lead measures is when I think of a measure, I think of a measure for success such as a percentage grade on an exam, let's say. Those are lag measures. What's really interesting about lead measures is they're less so a measure of success like that. They're a measure of what brings the success. So in the book, Cal Newport basically says, as a lead measure, you could do hours of deep work. Something I'm trying to do right now for a training exercise is I decided on a lead measure, or I'm proposing a lead measure. I haven't decided yet, that's not quite my role, but I'm proposing the lead measure of engaged learning time. And what's interesting, what kind of clicked for me is that the lead measure is the measurable thing that leads to the outcome that you're going for, and the lag measure is the outcome. So for that same exercise, for that same learning kind of exercise, the lag measure will be pass rate, which makes sense. So lead measure, engaged learning time, or maybe if you're doing work, hours of deep work, of good deep work. And then as your lag measure, you can have papers produced, I don't know, money made, or in my case, you could have pass rate, right? Highest pass rate. So I thought that was really interesting, this idea, and it kind of applies to many things, right? Let's say fitness. Well, your lag measure is how your, I don't know, physique looks after and how much you can lift, right? That's awesome. And a lag measure could be the time you can run a 5K in, but your lead measure, which is what you need to focus on, is the amount of time you're running each week, or the distance you're running each week, or maybe the amount of time you spend in the gym that's productive time. So it makes things a lot more actionable with that focus on lead measure. With creating a scoreboard, the beautiful thing about lead measures is if you pick a good one, it's usually quantifiable. So hours, engaged learning time, right? That's still hours. Maybe you do, well, maybe you're working on a spreadsheet and you just say how many boxes I do, something like that. If you pick a good one, usually it's quantifiable. I think usually it's basically based on time for many of them. And then that makes it really easy to make a scoreboard, which obviously makes things more fun. And then the final thing is creating a cadence of accountability. That one's also pretty easy. All it is it's pretty easy to implement, pretty easy to understand. All it is that you're reviewing your progress, you're reviewing your lead measure, and I think what also makes a lot of sense is that you're reviewing your lag measure. So you've got the lead measure and you've also got the lag measure, and you're reviewing both of those at a set period of time. That way you can see, okay, am I actually doing well on my lead measure? Am I improving my time spent in deep work, let's say? And then for your lag measure, you're essentially questioning your lead measure. Okay, I've spent 5 hours in deep work. Have I actually produced anything worth quality? Okay, I have. Awesome. This deep work thing's working. Or I haven't. Oh, that's not good. Maybe I'm not doing the work properly, or I'm not focusing on the wildly important. so I'm not actually making progress in what I'm trying to. Something I wanted to share, Deep Work by Cal Newport is a pretty interesting book. The whole concept, you can just find it online, but the whole concept is basically that you do deep focused work and then you relax rather than doing interspersed relaxation and deep focus work. Kind of like the saying, work hard, play hard. But great book. I'll let you find more information. That's my experience kind of with it that I wanted to share because I thought that was interesting.